Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando, that's Corey, and today we are doing 1981's The Evil Dead. I'm going to start out by saying this. So we've had other subscribers request different movies and yada yada. They've been fun to do because,
Yes.
Batman and Robin, bad movie, but it was fun. This
It's low hanging fruit to make fun of, but very easy and
yeah,
more fun.
and this was not fun. This was an hour and 22 minutes of my life that I'll never get back. And,
Yeah.
you know, with that being said, I think we should just dive into this thing. And I'll start with this. So, IMDb's description of this movie is five friends travel to a cabin in the woods. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Where they unknowingly release a flesh possessing demons, which is also true in a sense. But the opening of this movie is them traveling to
Yes.
said cabin. And then they almost get into an accident because the movie alludes to the fact that the car is possessed already. It's got a mind of its own.
Right.
And you get this thing, when they almost crash into the giant truck.
Which, did that remind you of like the prom drinking videos we had to watch? Like, don't drink and drive. Ah!
That's exactly what it
Fucking
reminded me.
horrible.
It was a cross between that and the videos that you used to watch when you first started a job.
Aha! The microwave is running unattended.
That's right. And there's a can of paint thinner inside.
That's how this movie started, and I was already pissed off. And then the note that I wrote on the first 10 minutes, which honestly did not need to exist. This movie could have just started by them pulling into the cabin and doing all the exposition there, like, hey, my friend gave me this cabin to use for the weekend. Aren't we having a good time? Like,
Well, you say you could do all the exposition there, which implies that they did any exposition during the car ride, because they didn't. Like, basically, I have a feeling like the writer or the director was fucking the girl in the passenger seat driving up to the thing, because all Karen Carpenter was doing was singing.
If I knew where you were, well, I would surely inform you.
Da 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 da. It was like in Step Brothers, Derek and his family.
Where everything was as fresh as a bright blue sky.
It was absurd. And then, like, we go back to the description. Flesh possessing zombies.
Yeah.
No, they weren't. Because they possessed a car. They possessed a fucking rapey tree. It's not all flesh that they're possessing. They are not limited to the flesh. And third, they say the friends unknowingly released these demons. No, they didn't.
No,
because it's already out in the first 2 minutes of the fucking movie. They didn't have to order carbonara pasta or whatever the fuck was getting said on the videotape.
Där hitchhiker dans de rosa, Ganda.
This was shot as if it was a 70s porn and they just took out all of the sex. And then just
Yeah.
like they were like, no, it's a horror movie.
Not all of the sex.
No, and we'll get to that. But on the way to the cabin, and I know they're trying to set this up for maybe later in the movie, that this is like an old rickety bridge, but the tire goes through the bridge, because, whoever's driving, I think it's Ash who's driving, and he said...
Scott.
Oh, was it Scott who was driving?
Ash is chilling in the back with the ladies. He's not stupid.
So he says, no, this bridge is sturdy. It's fine. And then the tire drops through the bridge down to like the axle. That car is stuck. Cut to quick cut. No like fade, no transition. Just quick cut to the front of the car driving off the bridge. No like, we got stuck, but we got it out. No, he just spins the tire and the car just goes straight. Like it does, whatever. So they get to the cabin on a grass road. It's not even a dirt road. It's a grass road.
That was one of my first things beyond just the ridiculous exposition or lack thereof was they made cars so much better in the 70s because that fucking thing is driving on a grass road like it's nothing.
Yes.
Nothing.
And it looks like they just made a clearing for this movie. Like they found a cabin because they were on such a minuscule budget, and they were like, "Dude,
On a porn budget.
let's just clear this cabin out." And well, there's trees. Well, you know what? Me, the director, the writer, and like 3 of the cast like cleared a way to the cabin so that they could just drive this car for the shot. So they get to this cabin. It's when they shoot the inside of the cabin, it looks enormous. From the outside, it's like it looks like a 200 by 200 like square foot cabin.
It looks like somebody was recording snuff films in there before it was abandoned. Like
it does. I'll say this that other movies don't do a lot of, especially some horror movies. They don't get into like it's all happy and the family's good and for 20 minutes before they get into, the first knock that they hear.
Right.
This got into it right away. The clock says like, I don't know, 5 to 6 or whatever the time says. And one of the chicks is drawing the clock for some reason. And it stops.
An intimate portrait of the clock. Like she is staring at that clock. The time wasted on bullshit shots in this movie is the most aggravating shit I have ever put up with in my life.
So
it's phenomenal. And I had an ex-wife at 20.
Yes. So she's drawing, it stops. She then goes crazy and draws SpongeBob SquarePants. So weird shit happens at dinner. This little trap door to a basement opens. They decide that like they need to investigate, like there's Scooby-Doo in the gang. And Scotty goes down the stairs for 4 minutes and 42 seconds for a shitty jump scare. Because
you're kidding me? That's how long it took?
4 minutes
from the 47 times they start yelling Scott.
Yes.
Hey, Scotty, you find anything? Scotty! Scott! Scotty!
Ash and everybody's yelling for him. Then Ash goes down the stairs to look for him. And then it's just shots of him looking around this creepy basement. 4 minutes and 42 seconds later is when Scotty jumps out and scares Ash. There's literally no dialogue in that almost 5-minute scene. And then they find this like, I don't know, The Hills Have Eyes like office. There's the book with SpongeBob's face on it, and they have the tape with a guy who's basically, I guess it's a recording of an old NPR broadcast.
Right.
So,
welcome to Demon Possession. I'm your host, Jive Jenkins. Today we'll be discussing a very important topic on demon possession.
It has been a number of years since I began excavating the ruins of Kandar with a group of my colleagues.
Here's at this point in the movie, here's the note that I wrote. Scotty is the biggest asshole. He's that friend that you invite to shit and then immediately regret that you invited him to shit.
And that is the stupidest thing I ever heard of. Jesus Christ.
He is the number one cliched character.
Yes.
In every horror movie. Just that over the top, alpha, ha ha ha, I'm tough. Oh no, something happened and I just made a brown stain in my pants.
Look, I'm getting out. I don't care what happens to her.
They continue to play the tape and awaken the zombies who are, or the spirits who, let's be honest, are already awake and roaming. It cuts to, again, wasting time, Ash pretending to sleep because he's going to give his girlfriend the little necklace thing. And then they play this weird, like, I'm sleeping, close up on the eyes game. Like, it's so fucking weird.
It's so weird. It's so unnecessary.
Yeah. The next...
It wasn't like, we're a cute couple in love. Bitch, you gave her a silver fucking necklace with a magnifying glass on the end of it.
He gave her a necklace with a monocle.
You know how sexy I've always thought the Monopoly Man was. Try this on.
So, and while they're playing the tape, that's when Cheryl loses her shit and has another seizure and leaves the room.
Shut it off.
Conda!
Cheryl,
I don't know about you or any of you out there listening or watching, but when I hear just random, join us, the first thing I do is go like, where the fuck is that coming from? And traipse out the fuck into the woods in the middle of the night in my robe.
Which Cheryl,
totally normal thing to do.
Which Cheryl does.
Is anybody out there?
And then gets lassoed by vines and raped by a tree?
Harvey Weinstein.
So, a couple of questions. Again, this scene lasted like 3 minutes of her like trying to get out and you know, lassoed by the vines. And then the tree dick like comes and it like stabs her in the vag, and
it's not even like a regular kind of thing. It shoots into her.
Yeah.
With force and velocity. All that scene represented was gratuitous tit shots.
Yes.
And something to go, holy shit, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Because up until then, this entire movie is so
yeah.
Nothing is happening.
Yep.
The dialogue is not catchy or witty. The exposition doesn't show any kind of internal conflicts with the group. It's just
outside
nobody
of Scotty.
has a character arc developing.
Outside of
Scotty being a dick.
Yeah. So there's what I don't get is after Cheryl gets, you know, raped by the tree, which I can't believe that sentence even came out of my mouth. She's running back to the cabin because the ghost dick demons are chasing her. And there's 4 people inside of this 200 square foot cabin. She is pounding on the door and screaming like she just got raped by a tree. And it takes them 10 minutes to get to the door, and they're like, what are you doing outside? You're all dirty. Did you fall in the woods?
Once again, 5 minutes of nothing to lead to a shitty jump scare, which is Ash putting his hand on her.
Yes.
And going, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, she grabs the keys still above the door for some reason. You don't have to leave the keys outside. Like, you can take them inside once you're there.
Yes, exactly.
That's ridiculous. But grabs the keys and holds on to them for like 2 minutes. Then pulls them down and starts fiddling with the shit.
Yeah.
If that ghost tree dick demon thing didn't trip over like 4 other tree branches trying to chase her, he would have had her in no time.
Again, Ash takes Cheryl away because she doesn't want to be there. Stops the car because he notices that the bridge is out a half a mile up the road in a dense fog.
And did you notice too that the bridge, when it became out, turned into like Golden Gate Bridge kind of bridge? Like, it was all like wrapped, torn sheet metal with massive pillars. And I just didn't understand what was happening at this.
I have one positive thing to say about this movie.
That it ended?
Because they go back and Cheryl gets possessed by the dick demon and fucks everyone up in that scene, right? It was actually a really cool scene. That one scene, if the whole movie was like that, I'd be like, dope, this is a pretty good movie. It's dated, but it's a pretty good movie. That one scene was pretty great. She like levitates and she's up and she starts speaking to the people in the demon voice, and
you will die like the others before you. One by one we will take you.
Okay, this movie's gonna get cool. Yeah, not so much, because that was only a 3-minute scene and the rest of the movie was trash. So I'll give it a thumbs up for this one cool scene.
Half of the movie, the badass ghost demon thing is trapped in the cellar.
Yes. The coolest part of your movie is trapped in the cellar for the whole movie.
Yeah. All you see is this. You see its eyes going, ah, ah, ah.
But yeah, so Scotty locks Cheryl in the basement after she fucks him up. And then stabs who I don't even know the characters because I didn't care. Linda, she stabs her in the ankle with a pencil.
That was pretty dope. I like that part.
But that was actually really cool how they shot that and did that with the limited budget that they had. But
and that was last time they didn't overuse blood.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think it's Linda says,
For God's sake, what happened to her eyes?
Her eyes? Did you see the fucking rest of her face and her body?
Her entire skin is melting.
Her eyes.
What are you talking about? Her eye. Look at her eyes. She's crazy.
Yep. So Shelly's the one that gets stabbed, I believe. They put her in the bedroom and she goes to sleep after having a massive gaping wound in her ankle.
I know when my friend gets possessed by a demon, skin looks like it's literally chunking off of them. Stabs me in the Achilles with the pencil. I'm just like, fuck, I'm sleepy. I need to go to bed.
I know. I gotta take a nap.
And then I sleep like an angel.
Until she wakes up and is screaming her face off. Ash kind of sits up, like, oh, is somebody screaming in the room next to me? And Scotty slowly starts to investigate. Again, wasting time in these scenes of him going around into the bathroom and yada yada. So Shelly's possessed, attacks Scotty, and he throws her in the fire, and her face starts to like burn off. But then he pulls her out because she's like, oh, I'm screaming in pain. She's possessed by the dick devil, and you're going to go ahead and pull her out of the fire. Cool, dope. And then she proceeds to, fuck everybody up again. And Ash, this is what I don't get throughout the movie. Whenever a demon appears or possesses somebody, Ash always gets trapped under furniture. I can't help. I'm trapped under furniture. My bad. Shelly and Scotty are in this tussle, right? He stabs her with the blade. She dies. An excruciating death. But comes back only to be dismembered by Scotty. And then they bury her? Okay.
Yep, that's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, apparently. So Scotty's like, fuck this, I'm out. He bounces.
I'm getting the hell out of here right now.
Ash checks on, it was Linda's foot. Again, I don't know these characters because I don't care. I didn't care about them. So he checks on Linda's foot. She's possessed by this annoying bitch who just wants to giggle and shit. So I guess it's like a little girl devil demon thing. Okay. And
why not?
Sure. Scotty gets fucked up by the rapey forest spirit dick thing. Ash, for me, Ash is kind of a dipshit. Just kill everyone
Ash
and
is
leave.
100% a dipshit.
Just kill everyone and leave. Like, Scotty's face is starting to do the melty possession thing. The other three girls are all possessed by the dick devil.
Yep.
Just kill everybody and bounce. Like, he has a chainsaw at one point ready to do it, and is like, oh, I guess I can't, because I guess it's only an annoying child demon, so I'm not gonna chop Linda's head off, or whatever. So, he's a dipshit. And a question during all of these possessions. Why does sperm shoot out of every single one of them when, like, a hand comes off? It's like this weird milky substance.
Yeah, I don't know if they ran out of food coloring to change the liquid red, but
they were just
that
like,
was nasty.
Just use milk.
And I'm with you. Like, if I'm Ash, I got my boomstick, I got my chainsaw. I'm walking the fuck out of here.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Tree grab me, chainsaw, solving the problem.
Yeah.
Demon jumps out, shotgun, solving the problem. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. And I only have 5 friends. I can make 5 new friends. That's not hard.
Here's the other thing. Ash gets chased for 20, because he's like the only normal one left. He gets chased for no lie like 20 minutes of this movie. Upstairs, down to the basement, and then he comes out of the basement, and he's trapped in the house, and he's hearing things. Hands come through the door. Scotty comes back to life, and Ash pokes his eyes out, which I'll admit was kind of a cool scene too. This is my question. He shoots Cheryl in the face, right? And Cheryl is unrelenting, still coming at him. But he pokes Scotty's eyes out and basically kills Scotty. And Scotty was like down for the count for like 5 minutes. And then all of a sudden he's crawling across the floor again. Like, he just shot that bitch in the face. And she just acted like nothing happened.
Must have been birdshot.
I guess.
Got to put buckshot in that boomstick, buddy.
He tries to get the SpongeBob book, and while Cheryl and Scotty are like grabbing at him and trying to fuck him up, he throws the SpongeBob book on the fire. Everything turns to claymation. Like, all of a sudden, this movie turned into The Gate. Like, I don't know what the hell happened, but it looked like this weird, shitty Nickelodeon show where everything's claymation. Like,
80s special effects with human flesh melting was horrible.
It was
horrible.
I mean, even in good movies at that time, back in 81 when this movie came out, if there was any scene where flesh was melting or somebody was getting burned, like the special effects just weren't good. If I'm somebody in the 80s, in the early 80s especially, I'm just gonna write that out of the script. Like, we can't do that. Can we do something else where like the heads blow up or something along those lines? Because the claymation thing it's not a good look.
Well, no. If you go back to Raiders of the Lost Ark, one of the greatest directors of all time, some of the best special effects people of all time.
Yeah.
And when their faces melt, well, spoiler alert, when their faces melt when they see the Ark, the shit looks weak.
It does.
It looks bad.
And
it's just, it wasn't there, man.
Ash almost dies, right?
Yep.
And the melty faces, end of movie, he walks out, it's daytime. You think he's safe and in the clear, and then Ghost Dick Spirit chases him down in the front yard of the cabin, and then end of movie. Which I guess would set up Evil Dead 2. Sure. Why not?
Why not?
I don't remember. So when this movie was requested, I went, ooh, Evil Dead. I remember kind of liking this when I was younger. And I was really into like Friday the 13th and some of these other horror movies.
Right.
But honestly, I probably haven't seen this movie since I was 12 years old. And
yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen this.
I remember going, oh, Evil Dead. I remember it's a cool movie. I'm sure it's probably dated, but I didn't think it would be what I saw.
Right. I remember it being so campy and bad. And we talked about this a little bit before, that I'm very much a horror movie snob.
As am I.
Like, there's certain things I expect in a horror movie, and if you can't deliver that, I'm not watching your piece of shit. I'm not one of these guys that's like, oh, Eraserhead is cool and it's cerebral. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like the campy shit. It's not me.
Yeah.
I honestly thought this movie was a lot worse than it was. It's still very bad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I had such a horrible memory of it that I was actually kind of surprised it was that much better. I appreciate what it is, like, as a cult classic. Yes. I'm not a member of that cult, personally, but I understand why people are like, yeah, campy horror movie, Evil Dead. I like Army of Darkness.
Yes.
If you're talking about, like, this series.
Yep.
I love Army of Darkness for the simple fact that it stopped being a scary show and was just comedy.
Yeah.
They knew how campy and bullshit it was by that point, and they just ran with it.
Yeah, no,
and
absolutely.
It was a lot more fun.
Yep.
This was trying to be scary, and in no way is it frightening in any way.
No.
It's not psychologically damaging. You don't get jump scares. The gore isn't nasty. It's just ugh.
Yeah, and the only two scenes that I was like, oh my God, like that actually got a reaction out of me.
Yeah.
One of them was completely gratuitous. The tree rapes, and it wasn't like during the tree rapey scene, I was like, oh damn, that's cool. Like I just went, oh, the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like it was more of a what the fuck moment than it was that was a cool scene. Like there was no need for, okay, you want to do the vines and then she breaks away and runs through the forest. Cool. You want to do gratuitous tit shots? I get it. That's what horror movies were. Cool. She gets tied up, runs through the forest, shit rips her off, boobies, yay. The rapey tree thing was just out of nowhere, and it had no context. They were just like, you know what we're gonna do next, dude? Somebody just get the shot, and I'll get the stick, and I'm just gonna go like that towards her freaking crotch, and we're gonna do like a tree rapey scene for no reason. So
here's my number one question about the tree rape scene, and I'll leave it alone after this.
Okay.
Just for continuity's sake,
mm-hmm.
Why wasn't she covered in tree sap for like the next 3 scenes? Just asking. If your mind didn't go there, then there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me.
You just don't know when you're taking something too far.
I know we do does it stand the test of time? No, this movie does not stand the test of time. And not because it's dated. Okay? I get it. There's movies that are dated that are still good movies that I think stand the test of time because they're just good movies. This, from the dress code violations that are in this movie, to the car that they're driving, to the script, to the way it's shot, to everything under the sun, screams that this didn't stand the test of time 6 months after it came out.
No, you're absolutely right. The number one problem is, and this is going through any horror movie, and kind of the main ingredient. If you are not going to give us something to be invested to or invested with these characters, we don't care that something awful happens to them. All 3 of these girls, outside of them being human beings, and, you know, obviously it's fiction, so I don't fucking care. I don't care what happened. There was no character arc whatsoever. I didn't care what happened to Scotty. I didn't care what happened to Ash. None of the girls. I didn't care.
Yeah,
there is no relationship between the character and the audience whatsoever.
Just from my notes that I wrote and just talking about the movie, I screwed up the chicks' names 6 times in this episode, which shows you that I don't give a shit about any one of these characters. I was like, was it Linda? Was it Shelley? Was it your mom? I don't know, and I don't care.
No.
So,
and that's with every horror movie, whether you know, like, they're a typecast cliche, like, I'm the bad girl, let's get some dicks, and so she's gonna die pretty early. And I don't like dicks, I'm saving myself for marriage. Okay, you're gonna win. Cool. But you at least start to develop some sort of interaction with them.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 in your best horror movies. This was shit.
Yeah.
And it's because you wasted 10 minutes of a drive on...
Got the fear after all the songs that we've sung together after all...
Anything else on the movie? Or are you good?
Dude, I'm beyond good. Please, let's move on to our next one.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Any suggestions will be welcome, but we will be carefully going over and vetting these movies. So if you have a suggestion, it may or may not make the list. but we appreciate all the comments and requests.
Yes, we love you guys commenting. Hot take.
Yes.
Just because you ask for something doesn't mean you're going to get it. Welcome to adulthood.
So for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1981's The Evil Dead.